Hello, I'm Lynne. My dad was a police officer and his job was to help people. But when I was young, I sometimes used to worry about him going to work. When I grew up, I too became a police officer and my daughter used to be worried about me, just like I was about my dad. Today, I'm going to read The Wolf Was Not Sleeping by Avril McDonald, illustrated by Tatiana Minina. It's a story about Wolfgang. Wolfgang's dad works as a helper too. When the wolves sound the alarm, he has to leave to help the other creatures in the forest. Each night, Wolfgang worries about what might happen if his dad gets the call. His worries are so bad that they keep him awake and he's falling asleep in the daytime instead. Would you like to meet Wolfgang and his friends? Come on then, let's get started. Deep in the forest, one dark winter's night, in a small, cosy bed by the firefly's light, a wolf lay awake, his loud beating heart was thumping in fear that the howling might start. Tick-tock went the clock, twit-twoo went the owl, as he prayed to the moon that the wolves wouldn't howl. But the forest stayed quiet, and with first morning light, phew, Wolfgang said, everything was all right. Each night was the same, his loud beating heart would be thumping in fear that the howling might start. And if all was still quiet, by first morning light, phew, he would say, everything was all right. But this peace wouldn't last, and that worried him so, for when the wolves howled, his dad had to go. His dad was a helper. When they called, he would run, no matter where, when, or how, he'd be helping someone. A forest of creatures can't always be calm. Sometimes there's trouble, or danger, or harm. And if there was trouble, the wolves let them know. Their howling would summon the helpers to go. Wolfgang imagined such terrible things, like dungeons and dragons with large scaly wings, trolls under bridges, villains and thieves, dangerous traps that lay hidden in leaves. He imagined wild beasts that were fierce and unkind. He could not get these pictures out of his mind. The thought of it all made his legs feel like jelly. His stomach was turning like worms in his belly. So he lay awake worried each night in his bed and was falling asleep in the daytime instead. Now this was a problem when friends came to play, for playdates most often are during the day. And when Wolfgang was it, or his turn came around, he was fast asleep somewhere and not to be found. Snoring away, he'd lie curled in a heap, in a game one could only call hide and go sleep. He was struggling to think straight, he slept during school, and when Owl asked him questions, he felt like a fool.
Wake up, Wolfgang.
Anxious and scared, after school he would creep back home where he dreaded when time came for sleep. But tonight would be different. He hadn't a clue what a spider, some pens and some magic could do. Spider knew he was frightened, so did something kind. She scribbled a note for Big Dad Wolf to find. We might have a problem we think we should hide, but a problem won't go if it's locked up inside. Now his dad understood, so that night before bed, he sat down with Wolfgang and here's what he said. I know you feel scared when the wolves start to call, but I'm safe and you don't have to worry at all. I run with a team, we're like birds of a feather. We're a family, we're stronger when we stick together. There's Bisma whose feathers are perfectly styled. She looks after the team, who takes calls from the wild. Smithy's our joker and Foxy's in charge. She's cool under pressure. We all call her Sarge. There's Ranger, who's loyal, Bobby and Slick, and Speedy, the cat. She's so nimble and quick. Then there's Hop, who is old and incredibly kind. He can calm creatures down just by using his mind. We all run together, we're never alone. Each one of us makes sure the others get home. There are times when we're scared, but together we're brave. We feel pride in our hearts for the creatures we save. We try hard, but sometimes a creature might die. And this makes us feel sad, so we talk, hug and cry. A lot of the time though, the problems are small, like when one does not follow instructions at all. The wolves, when they howl, tell the world that we care, that if anyone needs us, they know we'll be there. So the next time they howl and I run to the door, you need not be worried like you were before. Wolfgang just loved that he now knew the team. He'd learnt things aren't always as bad as they seem. Then he asked Big Dad Wolf, "Now I know all the crew, but what is the name that the others call you?" "It's Bear," Dad replied, "'cause I love a big hug." Then he gave one to Wolfgang, who felt warm and snug. "Good night, Dad," said Wolfgang as he lay down his head. "Good night, my brave wolf. Sweet dreams," Dad Wolf said. And now across town, if you look hard, you'll see the same team on a wall, in a room, up a tree, in a bedroom close by with trinkets galore and 120 stuffed mice to adore. Above 3 little beds, in a room with a view on the wall beside twins down on Bird Avenue. And in a small bed by the fireflight's light, Wolfgang sleeps soundly now all through the night. And if you were to ask him his favourite dream, he'd say, running with heroes beside Bear on the team. Wolfgang felt better when he spoke to Spider about his worries. What can you do if you feel worried? There are lots of ways in which we can tell or show people how we are feeling. And if we can say how we feel, there are many people that can help us. I hope you liked meeting Wolfgang, Bear, their friends and his team. This book was brought to life by Police Care UK. They are a charity that helps all our UK police and their families. Grown-ups can find out more about Police Care UK by visiting the website. Come back and see Wolfgang soon. Goodbye.